All right, 3, 2, 1. What's good, everyone? It's Charlie, fucking right here with fucking GM, and we starting a new thing right here today. We're doing off topic.
Off topic, boy. I'm very good at that.
So we just gonna go off on like whatever the hell we talking about. Normally on the regular podcast, that's what we already do. We just kind of start a conversation, go off, but we're gonna kind of find something like we want to talk about today, and then just see where it goes. You can go in a tangent and go off topic, but that's the title.
Yeah. So, day one, session one. Do you have a topic?
I mean, I don't really have a
Yes or no? Yes or no?
No, not really.
All right. Can I start a weird one?
Let's do it.
Let's just start off topic on a weird one.
Let's do it.
Bro, I've been wanting a dog like a motherfucker, bro. Like I'm a fucking weirdo when it comes to dogs. Like I'm super into dogs, bro. Like I be going to dog shows the whole nine, you know. I got my one dog at my mom's house, you know what I mean? She's a permanent resident over there. But I got a new spot and I'm like, man, I need one. You got this one right now.
Yeah, I got my little dude right here. He's always been here, but
yeah.
I mean, dogs, they say dogs always like match the personality of the person or like the features or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've never met a dog I didn't like.
Yeah, I have. Fuck yeah, and I love dogs. I love dogs like a motherfucker, but I've definitely met dogs I didn't like.
Like what?
For sure. I don't know. It's weird. You know, sometimes you just meet a dog and it just got a little attitude and you're like, fuck that dog.
I've had dogs even bite me, but like I still like the dog.
Yeah.
Like the dog, like at the end of the day, it was my fault for making him like want to bite me. Like I guess, like I guess I gave out that nature for a little bit.
You remember in Friday when when he slams the door on the Christian ladies trying to come in or the Jehovah's Witness ladies? And he's like, well, fuck you then.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I feel with some dogs. Like, man, sometimes dogs with certain fucking attitudes and like mannerisms, I'm just like, well,
you don't trust
you
me?
then.
Fuck you then.
Yeah, man. But no, like, I'm a big dog fanatic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no offense to my little guy right here. It's my dude. But, you know, I had a bull mastiff before, a big fucking bull mastiff. But did you ever meet my bull mastiff? Did you ever see that dog?
I don't remember.
I don't know. You may or may not have. He was like hairless, man. That dog had mange.
Nah,
like
I don't think I met him.
Yeah, he was a big old dog, but yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to start off topic with that. I'll be watching all these YouTube videos lately on dogs, and the other one, I watch all these old convicts and old inmates, and they just tell their stories and they give you game, man, like free game, like that you ain't gotta go fucking through the mud to find out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They be telling some wild stories. From the whole West Coast all the way out to Florida, you know, big shout out to Savage, 1090 Jake, Lockdown 23-1. There's this dude, Lockdown 23-1. This dude, YouTube be putting this dude on. He got like 300,000 followers, and he just be talking about his prison sentences all the time, man.
Hey,
man, that Jack is tight too. I be picking up his lingo all the time. He be funny. But yeah, dogs and convicts.
You ever see that show, Pitbulls and Parolees?
Hell yeah, from back in the day.
Oh, well, I never saw it. I just always saw it, and it was just like one of those funny shows to me. Like the concept is just like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
How do we pitch this to a TV network?
Yeah,
so we're gonna get
yeah.
a whole bunch of dogs, right? People like dogs. Then we're gonna put them with some convicts and see what happens.
Yeah, it was. I liked it. You know what I mean? Like, I remember they were out in Southern California, Tehachapi. There must be a prison right out there because that's what they were. I think they were staying there because of that, and then they moved out to New Orleans or something right after Katrina hit. But yeah, they had a little run on the TV. But yeah, man, that was some interesting times. I feel like I wonder how the public was perceptive about like convicts and everything after that, because you know what I mean, like everybody likes puppies and dogs.
I mean, I feel like it's the same way with like tattoos, because before like tattoos were only for criminals and stuff like that, and like as soon as like the mainstream got a hint of it, as soon as people like oh damn, I don't know why his name's blanking on me right now. It's because of the tree. But, yeah,
see, it'd be hard sometimes.
Yeah, it really is.
Keep that train of thought.
But there's people who brought the tattoo game to like the tattoo world to like a whole new level. Brought people custom designs,
Uh-huh.
brought stuff like that. Because before, like you couldn't even get custom designs. You had to like pick off the wall, or we didn't have
Yeah, I
it.
want that.
Exactly, right? They wouldn't do anything else. Then with the whole custom designs and people getting like stuff anywhere they want, not even in the traditional sense, like it became less of a criminal thing and more of just like, oh, tattoos. That I mean, nowadays it's more of a Western thing because
Hmm.
like you go to Japan and stuff like that, they still have like that stigma where tattoos are for like the
In a lot of
underworld,
places, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yakuza stuff like that.
Yeah, you
But
can't even show it at the gym.
exactly, right? Like there's certain places where if you have it's kind of like discriminatory. They have like if you have a tattoo showing, you're not allowed in. They'll
I
kick you
think
out.
that's like what, Portola Valley, Palo Alto. Isn't that the spot? No, I'm just
I mean, not like
Burlingame,
I don't know, like no
Hillsboro.
place really
Nah,
like puts you out for like having those tattoos anymore. It's
yeah,
just like you feel out of place.
definitely,
Like I go to
definitely.
any white department store, I feel out of place. I'm like, I shouldn't be here. I'm paying for shit. I'm buying things legally, but I shouldn't be here.
Yeah,
And there's just that stigma, and it just, but that becomes like more of a mind thing, you know. That just kind of shows like I lightweight being ignorant.
yeah. I think I mean, for me, I have poly tattoos,
Hmm.
Polynesian tattoos, and island tattoos. So I feel like the way that public perceives my tattoos is probably a lot different than how somebody would perceive like just like somebody's regular black and gray tattoos, or just your typical young person's tattoos from out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if they're not even like gang related or nothing like that, I think just socially they're a lot more, so society is a lot more open to tattoos and just other cultures in general and
Yeah.
exploring their traditional
I
culture.
mean, usually too, when like something shows up that people aren't aware of, um, they kind of like ask questions first, and then
Hmm.
once those first initial questions get asked, then that's how the information gets spread. You know, the
Yeah.
first tattoos that people saw here were on bikers, on ex gang members, and stuff like that. They were done kind of shabby, stuff like that. When you have stuff like poking tattoos or like traditional
Pokes.
stuff
Yeah.
like that, and you see it like in the traditional stuff in the in Polynesian tattoos, what's the exact word for them?
Like indigenous,
Not
traditional,
not traditional, like
tribal.
tribal. There we go. Um, when people saw those, they were just like, "Whoa, what's that?" Like, there's a
Yeah.
pattern going. There's a story here, and
Yeah.
that's when people started to ask questions. They're like, "Oh, tattoos can be way more than just this, and this." But
Hmm.
that's also because yeah, we're in a cesspool where there's so much diversity here. It's not even just San Francisco, not even just LA. It's like throughout the entire California Bay Area, and so because of that, we've had like very different mindsets into like things as opposed to like somewhere else. Like there are places still in the U.S. where tattoos are still seen as something like a negative
Yeah.
because they haven't had that progressive.
They just haven't been exposed to other cultures, really.
Exactly, like
They're sheltered
yeah, they've
almost.
stayed the same way for like the last 200
Yeah.
years.
And technology's opened up those doors, so people are.
Hmm.
I mean, there's people nowadays in the middle of Oklahoma that got some sort of Polynesian tattoos.
Yeah, and it's just weird. Like I mean, obviously, like you can't tell anybody to do with their body, but obviously think about stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, don't just get something because it looks cool. Get it because it means something.
I always being Filipino, and I grew up in the kind of like the island culture,
Hmm.
right? Grew up, my family does hula, does Tahitian dancing, everything like that. So I grew up with everybody around me had island tattoos. It's really nice to see the traditional Filipino style tattoos kind of coming into the forefront now, because for the longest it was just all straight up Polynesian, Hawaiian, and Samoan tattoos. And I feel like the Filipino tattoo is starting to really show how in depth our culture can go.
Yeah.
We were repressed from because of Spain for what, 500 years. So for a long time, our culture wasn't able to express ourselves with tattoos, and now they're able to kind of bring it back. And it's sad because when I went out to the Philippines and I was trying to explore, to see if there were people that still carried traditional tattoos, and there's not very many, and the locals don't really know,
Yeah.
because that tradition was almost wiped out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so but back kind of to a thought I was having earlier about these tattoos, like I always thought like, oh, I want to do the island tattoos because they tell a story, and it's almost like you earn them, and
Yeah.
it's like a rite of passage. But as I get older, I realize, like, isn't that what all tattoos are? Like, whether I get this form or you get something that says, somebody you love's name,
Yeah.
that's still gonna hurt.
Yeah.
It's that same pain, and you still have to endure. Um, you know, yeah, I think that whatever tattoo you have, it does have meaning for you. You know what I mean? Whether it's in symbolic pattern form, or you're just like, hey, I got this thing on me because I went through this and this is what it meant to me. Um, yeah, I don't know. For the longest, I always just felt like, oh, these people with their ordinary tattoos, like, don't have no meaning. You didn't even earn it. It
Right.
doesn't, you know what I mean? I had that kind of mind state. And then I really, like, I'm realizing, like, no, their tattoo to them means exactly what it means to me.
Exactly. Just not in the same
Yeah.
saying, I guess.
It's crazy. We started off talking about dogs, and now we're talking about
Yeah.
how tattoo culture
I've
means
been
to
trying to
us.
think this entire time, like, how the fuck did we even get here? But that shit don't matter because this is off topic.
Exactly. Exactly. Hey, I'm good at just fucking sometimes switching it up. Sometimes I feel like I do it too much, especially like if I'm trying to like really go in depth with somebody on the show,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, all right, well, cool. I kind of we touched on that enough. Like, I want to now talk about this. Sometimes I feel like I'm not able to talk about all the things I want to talk about because it's more so that exploring their life and growing up.
Right.
Sometimes you just want to hear their opinions.
Yeah.
So this is a good avenue to explore, and it's dope.
Right. Like, we'll definitely. I mean, as a whole show, I would really want to see this like go places. Like when we bring like certain guests back and we tell them like, hey, we're not gonna do a traditional episode right now. We're gonna do an off topic to where we can just talk about this
Yeah.
or that. And we want to hear your opinions on this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do a lot of readings and stuff like that, so I always want to like explore a different topic or to explore a different like avenue of thinking because it helps with the songwriting as well too.
Yeah.
And usually whenever I'm doing any songwriting and stuff like that, I try to consider not just my perspective, but the perspective of anybody I'm taking on. And then also anybody who might just be looking from a third like part of you. It's kind of like when you see a fight of a couple in public.
You ain't trying to get in the middle of
You're
that.
not trying to get into the middle of it, but it's like they're screaming so loud you can't not hear it. And at that point, like, it's like, what are you thinking? Are you thinking like, should I intervene or should I just walk away type of shit?
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't do nothing. You spend so much time thinking about it. And those are just a few of the type of ways I want to like try to explore not just songwriting, but like also this like, I guess second show that we're having. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and like when we started talking shift to begin with, like we kind of spoke on how, like, I keep on saying it, repeating it, but it's not really just a podcast. We're we're trying to do way more than just this show. We're trying to, be a media company, have other things, music, this and that. I keep on talking about it and bringing it up. The people that listen, they should, I don't want to keep
But I mean, that's the
hitting the dead
objective,
horse.
like,
but
to connect all roads, just because you don't know where one road might lead you. So have all your avenues open.
Definitely. Hey, I want to, a little bit off topic. I wanted to ask you too. I was gonna make a statement, but more so, I think, kind of like a question now. But when we had Bryson,
Mhm.
Black Sheep on, right? I'm not gonna front. I did take an edible before I came through, right? But I was like, I remember when I was talking to him, it hit me for a split second. I was like, damn, I'm high as fuck. I was like, damn, I'm stuck. Did I look lit at all, or was it?
Nah, you didn't really like look lit. I mean, at some point,
Good thing it's just audio right now.
yeah, it's just got audio and stuff. Like, that's a whole other thing. But I mean, at the same time, I wasn't really looking at you. I'm like the entire episode, I'm looking at the levels and stuff like that, making sure shit's like fucking just like sounding right. Because at some points, like one or the other of you guys got loud.
Yeah.
I mean, but that happens for every episode. Like somebody always gets a little louder, and I have to pay attention to
Or
the
if I
thing.
pull back like that.
Yeah, and then somebody gets closer, so I gotta raise them up, and then somebody gets farther away, so I gotta like raise them down, and just or vice versa. I'm pretty lit, so I'm.
Do you ever listen to Joe Rogan's podcast?
Every now and then, but because he also has 2-hour episodes.
Fuck, sometimes 3.
Yeah,
3 and a half.
3, 4. Like, it's just like
Yeah.
crazy. Like, it's like,
And there's so many.
yeah, exactly. There's so many, so sometimes I don't even know who to like click on, especially when I haven't tuned in for a while, and like I want to watch episodes. I usually try to watch more about like the authors and stuff like that because they usually have a new book out, and it always
Yeah.
gives me something to read.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah,
few of
yeah.
the books that I've read so far already this year, are recommendations off like new authors and stuff like that, and they always give like keen insights to like how they wrote it, which is always like a treat.
Yeah. Well, the reason I bring him up is you know who Jamie is?
Yeah.
It's Jamie Vernon. Um, he's a really integral part of that show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much people really realize that might be more casual viewers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, it always really reminds you, like, you doing what you do is obviously a lot similar to kind of like what his role is,
Yeah.
almost. You know, what do you think? Like, what's it like, kind of producing a podcast? Because you know what I mean? I'm not producing it. I'm just hosting it. You know, so what's it like producing a podcast, engineering it, and you know, kind of making sure that side gets done?
I mean, it's interesting for the moment because, for one, it's like since I don't have a mic while we're recording for the current episodes and stuff like that, I'm kind of just like a backseat passenger, and I'm just listening to the people in the front seat and just have a conversation. So it's like, for one, it's like, especially with DJ Tossie coming on, like, it's just like every now and then I'm hearing like game, and it's just like it either helps me in a minor way or helps me in a major way. Just like, again, it comes back to that thinking. Like, it's all in how you think. You think and you put it out there, and like it becomes part of the universe.
Yeah,
And
it's a really good observation.
and so like being able to have that opportunity is great. And then like editing them down, it's also just like heading me back into the studio. Like that's one of my biggest like bonuses from it, because like the more I'm in the studio, the more I want to be in the studio. And like as I was
Ditto.
telling, it's like, yeah, as I was telling you earlier, like from the past 3 weeks, I've recorded almost 20 songs, more or less. Have like even like more written and just like that. And I just want to keep going until like I just don't have the time to.
I feel like the energy in here is just
it's slowly rising, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then like the more I get this like wall filled up and stuff with like more artwork, more soundproofing and stuff, like it'll just be even better. And then eventually, like, I got to think about a room. I got to figure out where to put these fucking drums and shit. But that's a problem.
That'll
for
come.
later
That'll
me.
come. That'll come, man. We'll get it. You know, up next, we got to get these cameras. I need to
Yeah.
get these cameras, so that's definitely gonna come.
I'm thinking like another desk too, just because like to take away some room.
Okay, man. You know, bunch of things we can do.
A bunch of things, but like that's all future. I mean, because at the same time too, like I wanna. As much as I like recording in here, I want to stop recording in here as quickly as possible. Like this is more like if I do continue to record in here, I want it to be more like demo tracks, stuff like that, preview stuff like I can like still like think on instead of the final versions. And then I want to take not just the podcast, but my entire recordings, everybody I do record with and all that stuff. I want to take it to an actual studio with like real mixers and stuff where we have the room and stuff like that, where people can actually bring their friends and like they're not like just kind of like squeezed up in here.
Yeah. Forewarning for any future guests. I want y'all to know, like, you know I sound great on this podcast and everything. Nah, I'm just playing. Nah, not trying to toot my horn. JK. But nah, this studio, I love this spot. You know what I mean? I love everything that we're able to do here.
Mm-hmm.
It is by no means a huge studio. It is not a big place, you know?
Yeah.
And no shots to nobody that brings anybody with them. To, you know what I mean? All my guests are, you know what I mean? It's all love. Thank y'all for coming through.
Yeah.
But man, sometimes it's a tight squeeze, you know, and people don't see it.
Especially if we smoking in here too, like
yeah.
like the oxygen becomes thin. So
Oh yeah.
so it's just, I mean, it's the same thing when I tell people when they come to record.
Yeah.
It's just like I tell them, like, if you're gonna bring somebody, bring 1-2 people at most, because
Yeah.
it's
gonna be tight.
It's tight. Like I still have to be on the computer while you're recording right here in the corner, and then you have 2 friends sitting on the fucking couch.
It's a lot.
And then like on top of that, like when we're recording, like there's no talking. There's no talking from anybody who's not part of it. So it's
like quiet on the set. It's like being on a shoot.
And then it's like I'm not trying to be the one to tell your friends like, hey, can you put your phone on silent? Hey, can you take that outside? Type of shit. When they're like who the fuck answers a phone call like during a studio session?
Oh yeah, that's all bad.
But that's more on unprofessionalism than anything else. We haven't really had any like unprofessionalism with the podcast, which is like I'm grateful for so far.
Yeah.
But
I
like
try to make sure it's solid flow
it's
coming
yeah,
through.
like everything's got to be a smooth ride. Like they can
Yeah.
be bumpy, there can be bumpy roads, but it's still got to be a smooth road.
And you know what? Thinking on that, like, I'm open for anybody to come through. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But talking shift is, or it's about shifting your mind, your soul, your mentality, and shifting from whatever's holding you back into something greater.
right,
Really, like, so my whole idea in talking shift was to hear people, hear their story, hear their trials and tribulations, and to learn from it, and to take those stories and hopefully other people can learn from it. And it kind of brings me back to what you were saying earlier about, Free Game from DJ Tassi, who we had on recently. And why do I like listening to podcasts or all these different YouTube channels anyways? And that's it. The free game. You know what I mean?
right.
It's like studying. It's giving you insight into the world and different worlds that you may be a part of
Or
or
even
may
not,
not be a
yeah,
part of.
exactly.
So, you know, uh ever since you're young, they tell you that you need to learn, right? And they send you to a place for 8 hours a day to go quote unquote learn, right?
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah,
That those systems and those that style of learning isn't for everybody. I feel in a lot of ways that I had to kind of learn how to educate myself, and a lot of it is through these different types of mediums. So my hope is that with this everything that we're doing in here, that we can make some sort of change, some sort of shift.
yeah, because it's like we're really trying to do like a community effort type thing here because we're not even bringing like, at least at the current moment, we're not trying to bring like the most famous people in here. We're trying to bring people in here who are building something.
100%.
So it's like
That's it.
it's 100% like 100% not always gonna be somebody who you know at the moment,
Oh
but
yeah,
give them like
at the
three,
moment.
yeah, right, at the moment. So but give them like 3-5 months. Holy shit! Why is this guy popping up right here all of a sudden? Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Because we told you,
Yeah.
we brought him in here.
And like, I hate to keep talking about other people, but like No Jumper, Adam, like he breaks interviews. He breaks artists through interviews.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people that you would never have heard their music if it weren't for his interview.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I think that we'll reach that certain level. We just got to keep grinding, keep doing what we're doing. You feel the energy in here. It's growing better, bigger every time.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to get the right people in here, tell their stories, and, it's going to hopefully change lives. It's changing my life already. It's made me more open, more understanding in a lot of ways. I try to be more communicative. I try. It's not always perfect, but I learn a lot in here, man. I really do. That's what, yeah.
I
Come
feel
on,
it.
Captain.
Yeah, shit, I'm just kind of spacing out too. Like,
Nah, I feel you.
shit, that's what happens when you don't smoke every day. But I mean, that's also
I
a
don't
good
know
thing,
what
you know.
that's like.
My tolerance stay low, so
Yeah.
everything kind of gets me there. But fucking truck passing by. I don't even know if the mic's really probably gonna pop that up. But yeah, like every time like I see like another like not even every time I see another episode or a podcast, not even from just us, but like from other people, it always brings in more insight because yeah, like not every artist we have in here is currently even having a project out, but yeah, it goes back to that thing. You give them time, and then like they're gonna have this project out where they took the time to like craft it and stuff like that to really
Yeah.
put it out there. So once it was ready, they would put it out in earnest. You know?
As long as you are doing something creative, or putting forth effort into something, whether it be artistically or athletically or entrepreneurially, in whatever facet of life, as long as you're attacking it with everything you got 100%, and and you have a good story to tell behind that, like that's all I want. And the thing I think the most about it is that everybody has a story. Like there's so many people that I hit up to try to come onto the show too,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if my story's good enough. I don't know this and that." It's like, no, everybody's got a story to tell, and that's
Everybody.
the beautiful thing about this is, I try my hardest to bring that story out of them.
Yeah.
I try. I hope I do a good job. You know, some people say I'm doing all right, so we'll see. We'll keep on trying to push with it, but
It's almost the same way when I like got early people in the studio. I always used to tell people like try recording once in your life. Like even if you're not the best rapper, even if you're not the best singer, you might fucking love it.
yeah,
And then from there, that's when you start grinding. That's when you really start like getting your lyrics better, shit like that. But I mean, it's all progress. Like you can't like success might mean you have to fail first,
okay.
but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try.
Let me ask you a question. How has this podcast changed your writing, music, recording, your whole creative process, or has it? Has it at all?
It hasn't really changed too much of the process, but it goes back to me just being in the studio. The more I'm in the studio, the more I want to be in here. So like usually when we record somebody who's also an artist, that's when I kind of get more inspiration because I'm like, all right, this guy's like really working his shit, so
Yeah.
I can't start slacking, especially not now. Especially like when I'm in here, it's like right here where I sleep, so it's like there's no excuse for me not to record. I don't care how tired I am. Like the day stops when I'm done, not when I'm tired.
That's how I feel about, hosting too, like these people are putting forth effort in everything they're doing. Like I need to do the same. And sometimes I'll be late, and I'll be tired. And sometimes, you gotta push through that shit. You know what I mean? We chose to do this, and yeah.
A lot of times too, like especially like shit, like when I say like I'm tired and shit like that. Like my first thought immediately after that is like, that's a bullshit excuse. So like I'm not gonna believe it. So
Yeah.
my body shouldn't start believing it.
Yeah.
And then that's like really when I start to get to work because like usually sometimes the hardest thing is just starting.
100%. Hey, that's what do they say? What's the saying? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step, right? Something like that.
I don't know that one, but that one reminds me of a similar saying by Bruce Lee. Was it Bruce Lee? I think so.
Or was it Jackie?
No, I think it was Bruce.
Okay.
And he's just like, I don't fear the man with 1,000 strikes. I fear the man who's studied one strike 1,000 times. I'm pretty sure I paraphrased because I'm pretty sure I didn't get that completely right, but it's around the same means.
I mean, yeah, it's true. Like, there's so many people that never have been to a martial arts class or jiu-jitsu or boxing or whatever, and they watch all these YouTube things of different techniques, and they think they're like Conor McGregor or Khabib in there. Or
You ever see
something.
Old Boy?
Old Boy. There's two versions of that one, right? There's Korean version and then there's the American version.
I've
watched
never seen the
version.
American. I've never seen the American version, but the
I've
Korean
seen-
version,
yeah, that
that
was
that shit's fucking raw.
Don't
But
don't get a spoiler.
I'm not gonna
alerts
spoil
away,
it, but like that's like my favorite movie to like tell people to watch if they don't know what it is because like the first time I watched it and the ending, like you kind of get hints for the ending.
he was in that room where the windows were all blacked
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
For hella long. Okay.
And that's when he started like watching videos on like martial arts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
kind of reminded me. But like I love that movie because for two reasons. One, they have a fight scene that they shot entirely all in one take,
That's tight.
which is that hallway scene, and he's just like taking on like a whole bunch of guys at the same time, breaking out
Mm-hmm.
because they let him break out. And but then the ending happened. Yeah, then the ending happened. Yeah, like the whole thing's like that.
That ending is fucked up.
It's so fucked up, but that's what makes it so good. Like, I wish there were more movies that would take that fucking the balls to like drop some shit like that. Obviously, because like obviously that's not an American movie.
Yeah.
Nowhere in America would somebody do that. Not even fucking what's his name?
Yeah, because the money bags is gonna be like, well, that's not marketable.
Yeah, exactly. It all comes down to marketing and just like, but for like a movie like that to come out of Korea and then like make it like onto Netflix and stuff like that, so American audiences can like watch it and just
Is
like
it
that.
on Netflix?
It was on Netflix. I don't know if it
Okay.
still is because I
I thought
don't
the American version was on Netflix.
I don't know because like I don't watch movies too many times. Like the only times I watch movies are for like recommendations,
Yeah.
and then other than that, like you're never gonna catch me like sitting there.
There's no fucking cameras yet, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, like that's why you won't catch me like sitting 2 hours to watch a movie because I can't. Like those 2 hours, I could have been doing other shit.
Yeah.
I could have been in the studio. I could have been writing. I could have been reading a fucking book. Like, like for fuck's sakes,
You
like,
love reading them books, boy.
I wouldn't say I love it, but
Yeah, you do.
But it's like I want to do it more because I know what it'll lead me to. Because every time I read a book and I finish it, I always feel accomplished, but I also take away like whatever it taught me. And then
Okay.
usually I also take notes on it too. So like,
How long does it take you to finish? Like, just say like a regular book. No,
it depends if I'm
on
into
average.
it.
Okay.
If I'm not into it, like I usually read like a chapter a day. And that's only if I'm not tired. But like usually, like if a chapter is hella long, I'll take like a couple like sections. Like I usually try to read like between like 10 to like 20 pages at a time.
Uh-huh.
And then like if I'm into it, then I keep going and stuff like that. But like if I'm into the book and I really want to read it, I'll finish like an 800-page book in like 2 days at most.
Yeah.
And that's small print.
Oh fuck. I it's embarrassing to even say, but like I've only read a few books. I think The Alchemist and Catcher in the Rye are the only two books I've read cover to cover. Like I've read parts of different books. I think there's been a couple business books that I actually read. I like business books.
Yeah, that's what I try to read a lot more. Like, especially after owning a business, like I try to read a lot of fucking business books just to like kind of get the different perspectives and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like
Excuse me.
the one I've really been thinking the most about lately is a book called Applied Empathy, which is just like thinking empathetic in every situation. No, and not every situation, but like in the situations that call for it. Like kind of like one example I have is just like when somebody hears a tattoo machine, like that zzz, how does that make somebody feel? Do you get anxious? Do you get excited for your new tattoo?
A little bit both.
Like so like some
The pain's coming.
yeah, it, but like but I mean some people all have different pain tolerances too. So like some people just lay there and just like, oh, we're done. All right, let's do another.
Fuck that. I don't care. That shit hurt. I don't care what nobody be saying.
But it's just stuff like that where it's just like you look at every little detail. Like one example they had in the book was for cancer patients who go inside that big MRI machine.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you've ever been in that room.
I've been in an MRI before.
So like you know how cold that fucking room is, right? Or it was.
Man, I was like 13, 14 at that time. It was a long time ago.
Like you're in a gown, like
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
no
yeah,
clothes.
yeah.
They put you
Yeah.
on a fucking metal slab, and
That shit is loud too.
Yeah, it's loud. It's cold. It was cold in there, but then like they did like an applied empathy study where they said like, yeah, the machines kind of start to like go bad if we turn up the temperature. That's why they have it cold in there, because like the components like stay well held together. But either way, you're replacing that machine like way before like before it goes out. So
Yeah.
you can turn up the temperature a little bit, even if it's just for like the time that you're just doing the exam.
Yeah.
You turn it up and then turn it right back down. And so they try to make the experience just way more comfortable, because what they had found out is that I believe it was women, or I don't know if it was women or just like general people weren't coming back because like they didn't like the experience.
Yeah.
And so they made the experience better to where the experience is all about the patient. And now people are getting like them like the recommended, which I believe it's either 2 a year or 4 a year, or like every quarter. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, it's just stuff like that where you consider every little aspect, because all those little things is what forms the hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like kind of like the same way when people get in fights with their girl, like they're not mad at you because like you didn't do the dishes. They're mad at you because you don't do the dishes every fucking day, while you're not also like fucking vacuuming or whatever. I'm not gonna get on anybody for their bullshit, because obviously I don't have no fucking problems like that. But
He's like, I don't have that problem.
it's just shit like that, I hear it all day, and it's just like take a step back, Look at what you're doing, and look at what you're doing from their fucking eyes.
Yeah.
It's not even like from either way. Like sometimes
Empathy.
you could be mad at like somebody else, and it's just like, why are you mad at them?
Empathy. Right. Yeah. I mean that I think taking the time out to look for somebody else's perspective and get a little empathy is good and for everybody and everything. You know what I mean? You know what? While we're on the subject of books, I've heard of this one, The Richest Man of Babylon, the one you just read.
Yeah.
So I want you to kind of give me a little rough breakdown of like what's going on. What's that?
The Richest Man of Babylon is a story. It's multiple stories containing morals about some of the richest men in Babylon who, through their lifetime, even though they started off poor, even enslaved, they became great men of wealth.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's how do they do this? Well, they followed
Certain principles.
not certain principles, but five. I don't want to. No, I don't know if it was five, but like they followed rules essentially, and the rules were pretty much pay yourself first. Like that sounds surprising, but
That's very surprising. Okay.
like a lot of people, they're like, all right, I'm gonna spend my money after I pay my bills. So I'm gonna pay all my bills, and then whatever I have left, that's what I have to spend. You're fucking up. The second you get paid, take 10% of what you're paid, put it aside. That's what you're saving. That's what you're saving for the future. You know, you don't even touch that money. You don't look at it. You don't count it. You don't acknowledge it. Put that 10% away. Done. Use 20% to pay off your debts. Divide it equally among all of them. And then your other 70% is kind of like what you're free to use for bills or pleasure or whatever that. You already put your money aside for that. You already paid your debts. So now you're good. Like, use whatever your money, because like you already paid yourself. So if you still have money for that fucking Gucci belt that you want to buy, go buy the Gucci belt.
Don't do it, but invest it, guys.
Exactly.
Invest it. They're telling you this in story form, though, right?
They're telling you this in story form, and these are from tablets from like 5,000 years ago.
Okay.
So like,
that's kind of what I was gonna ask you. I didn't realize it was 5,000 years old.
it's something like that.
But is that not like essentially kind of like what the Bible is? Like, do we know? I mean, listen, I don't even want to get on the religion debate. I'm not trying to have that debate with people, but like, is it begs the question, like, is the Bible like kind of like allegories and myths and different kind of stories based on, you know, trying to show you the route to
Yeah, a lot of the
I don't
stories
know
in the
what I'm trying to
Bible
say.
are like, for one, stories, but they teach you the moral ground that you're supposed to follow. Like, one of the biggest recommendations I got was, because I read the Bible before and like I didn't really like it, like for personal reasons. But a friend recommended me to reread it, but read it as a story. Don't take anything seriously. Read them as stories, and you'll probably enjoy them, because yeah, like I enjoy stories like that where you get a big moral in the end.
So you actually read the Bible?
Yeah, but it was mostly like almost like a skim, because like, for one, I didn't want to read it. It was just there, and I was really bored for a lot of hours.
Yeah.
And so like I just kind of read it, skimmed through it, kind of like got that made me want to read the Quran and the Torah and then other shit. And then I kind of like formed my own like spiritual epiphanies type shit.
Yeah.
But
What's the craziest thing you read out of the Bible? Craziest story out of there?
I'd have to really think about that, but that also goes back to like me wanting to reread it, because I want to like be able to get more of those stories kind of ingrained in me, not even just for any purpose. I mean, it'll probably come back. Like, usually every time I read something, it always comes out in my lyrics too. So like, the more things I have to rhyme about, the better I am.
I feel you.
So,
I feel you.
I wouldn't really be able to answer that question. Give me like a year whenever I want to read the Bible, because like that's the biggest thing about me, like rereading it. Like, I just don't want to start rereading it.
Yeah.
And then, but I mean, I've also read the Satanic Bible,
Whoa.
Anton LaVey, shit like that.
San Francisco native, right?
Yeah, the Church of Satan's there, right? Yeah, And I believe a couple years ago they got like approved to like be like a full on religion too.
I think they kind of more so just kind of believe in just doing what you want in this life because
Doing
there's
what you want, and the aspects of like God and the devil are essentially inside of you. So whenever you do something, it's kind of like the myth of like the two wolves.
it's
You
not
have a,
even so much about being evil or anything like
no,
that. It's
you
more so
like
about
what are
other
you,
things.
it's like what do whatever you want to do, but keep in question what are you feeding your spirit,
Uh-huh.
because it's not even the question of like a spirit being like a soul. It's the spirit is like your overall being, it's the overall compass of like every emotional fiber in you.
Mm-hmm.
like like I could get like scientifically and be like all emotion comes from your brain and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like obviously when you dwell on every emotional experience you've had, you form like the kind of person you want.
Yeah.
As far as a soul, like you might be like ice cold and like you don't want to have anybody approach you. You might be the warm type where you have everybody embrace you.
Mm-hmm.
But that all comes like to like what are you feeding your spirit?
Yeah.
Does your spirit want to be which way or that way?
Yeah.
And that's just pretty much their overall like guidance for like a lot of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like
Let me ask you something. Um, kind of before starting this, you weren't never. I would never say like quiet or anything like that. But you weren't like always trying to like go up and meet people. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah.
not either, to be honest. Like,
No, I'm a very reserved person.
yeah. Um, do you think that doing all of this has changed your outlooks at all, or changed how you
It's
interact with people at all?
definitely made me want to get out more, like we're gonna go to Music Fridays.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
so there's that.
Tossies,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I really want to do that. I want to like I've been wanting to go to a lot of the shows that like everybody promotes too that we've had, like Sean Bennett.
Yeah, I went. I got to go see him at the Boutique Lounge in
Oh yeah.
San Ho. Hey, you ever heard of Spitta? He from Redwood City. He's been rapping since I remember, like when I was back in high school.
Maybe like I'd have to see him. Like I'm better with like faces.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Like there's a lot of people who come out of Redwood City, but like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna speak on that.
Yeah. Well, no. The only reason I'm asking is because I was kind of trying to do a podcast would be doing, trying to lead a conversation. But no, what I was really trying to get at is like thinking to the future. Who are some dope people that you would like maybe not necessarily famous, but maybe like our next step up. You know what I mean? Not
Like young
discounting
cats or like anybody.
anybody. It doesn't even have to be like no musician. It could be anybody, anything.
Like
Like
who's gonna come up?
yeah, give me your top 3 dream guests actually for like who you'd love to get on here in
To
here.
get on here. I mean, shit. Like I'd really want to like talk to Doobie or Jay Diggs because for one, like not even just because of who they are, but because like they came out of like everything like so much more. What's the word I
I
want to
think
use?
Diggs out in Vegas now. They got the whole Thiz
Yeah,
house.
Diggs been in Vegas though.
Yeah.
But like Diggs, like lately, his like game, not
Uh-huh.
even just game, like the way he has been putting out songs, his flow, his lyrics,
Changed
everything
up.
has been on fucking point.
When I was living in Vegas, man, I was always running into AP9 and Hustler,
Yeah.
bro. I was even on I was on Spirit flights with your boy Hus, man. Oh, bro. That was funny.
I mean, I would want to
miss
meet
Vegas.
any of the mob figures. Like
Hell
rest
yeah,
in
they
peace,
tight.
Jack.
Yeah, R.I.P. Jack for sure.
But I mean, yeah, I really want to get somebody like one of them, like just to like really talk to him, not even just on like Mac Dre experiences, but just like what made them want to come out so much fucking harder. Cause all I really heard from Doobie was the So Crest challenge thing, and he did. And then like yeah, I was just like fucking like okay, he's coming in hard.
Yeah.
And then I heard Diggs fucking So Crest challenge. I was like,
heard these, man. I need to go. I'm late to the
like
game,
every
bro. I'm
every
fucking up.
a lot of the factors from the Crest like really like did the challenge. Like I'm just gonna have my preference on who I like better, but like
Yeah.
Doobie's always been like such a cold Mac on the mic.
What about give me another guess, but not music related?
Not music related. I gotta think about that one.
Yeah.
I really want to get Chewy Gomez in here.
Shoot, that would be dope, man. Chewy Gomez is a Bay
Like,
Area legend, bro.
yeah, he's a legend. And
Since
it's just like
98
he's
one.
so like humble. Like, haven't had a chance to like talk with him, but like he like shakes hands with everybody.
Oh yeah.
Like I've shaken his hand like already, but it's just like I want to get into a conversation with him.
I remember
Just
when,
like break everything down because he knows.
did he go to Carmont? Did he stop by with? Did he bring 106 with him back in the day?
I couldn't tell you. Like I was absent a lot, and then
Yeah.
like then after I think my junior year I left, and then I went to Redwood.
Crazy ass fucking Chewy Gomez story. Chewy Gomez and 106 came to Woodside High School when I was there. And this is full swing, middle of the hyphy movement. You know what I mean? Like, Tell Me When to Go was already on the radio. Like, shit is hitting. And they had in the quad at, I don't know, have you ever been to Woodside?
Yeah, I've been to Woodstock. My cousin went there.
You know, with the quad in the middle where they do all their events and shit, where they ended up having the fucking fat ass Cinco de Mayo riot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Bro, I was there for that. But Chewy Gomez in that same quad, man, he had like a little turf dancing contest, and hey, man, they was showing out, bro. There were some cats from EPA, man. They were turning it up.
Honestly, I feel like he probably like in all the schools that I've been to, he probably did something to one of them.
Yeah.
Or like I went to a school where he was there, but like, cause my memories are all like fucking blank from then. Like I can't really remember. I always remember running into DJs, and then my old middle school buddy's father was also a DJ, and he had like some people running with him and stuff like that. He had like old CDs by like fucking I forget who. And then I just met another DJ too who still got like old copies of DJ Rick Lee's like fucking old school shit.
That'd be cool.
Like
too.
his early mixes and shit.
Mm-hmm. Fucking, that'd be dope, man. Chewy Gomez is Bay Area legend. He know Tossie. He went to.
Yeah.
Well, man, I feel bad. What's the name of Tossie's event? Bandcamp, right?
Bandcamp Music Mondays.
Music
Music Mondays or
Mondays.
Music Fridays?
No, Music Mondays.
Is it Music Monday?
I
Yeah.
was happy because I was like, "Ooh, cool!
I
I
know
got
it's on
that
the
day off
2nd.
from work." Yeah, we definitely gonna be there. So yeah, all y'all shifters out there, all y'all listening, March. I believe we
Honestly,
believe
don't
March
think this is gonna
2nd.
come out till after that. I honestly don't know when we're putting this out.
Nah, this is definitely gonna come out before that. Oh wait, no, that's next week. I'm tripping because it's a
Yeah,
short
'cause
week.
it's already right there.
Oh shit. Well, in posthumously.
Well, we'll come back to that.
yeah,
we'll talk
we'll
about
be
what
there.
happened.
Y'all will see it on Instagram, and we'll be talking about this, and you're gonna be like, "Time is weird."
Shit, my time's always weird. What day is it?
Thursday.
I honestly thought it was Wednesday or Friday.
Thursday. I was supposed to be at work right now. To be honest, I fucked up my my neck, my back, my hip, my whole shit's been fucking up. Shit, man. Getting old sucks. I say this all the time on here too. That's another horse I beat dead all the time. But man, this shit is crazy.
I
getting
mean, you're
old.
only as young as you feel too. But like you all like it, I tell my mom the same thing. Like she tells me like, oh, I'm feeling it. Like I feel it in my bones. I'm just like, you just gotta take better care of yourself. Like,
Yeah, I need to start exercising.
yeah, it's like really exercising and eating right. You do those two things. Like you could be 70 and you'll be feeling like fucking 33.
Yeah.
And, but I don't plan to live that long. I want to see 70. 70 is too old for me. What the fuck am I gonna do at 70 that I ain't doing like fucking 30 years?
Hey man, you never know. You never know. Hey, real quick, I don't mean to switch gears, but I just wanted to, for everybody that tuned in and stayed listening this long, if you guys could hop on the comment section, man, and start interacting with this. I know I haven't been the most interactive and responsive on YouTube. I'm a lot more active on Instagram. But reach out with us, man. Me, Charlie, Talkingshift. Hop on there, man. Ladies and gentlemen, tap in with us. Shoot us some ideas for this off topic in the comments. That would be
where
really
do you want
dope.
us to start?
Yeah, for sure. Like what I wanted to say is, if you interact with us, we'll kind of have a point of reference to know how you guys feel. Maybe you guys will tell us about certain guests that we might not even know about and that we learn about from you guys. And how dope would that be for you guys as listeners to, hear us chop it up with somebody that you guys suggested, so definitely get active in that comment section. Let your people know about us. You know, if that's really not your thing to be leaving comments and all that, like at the very least, like shoot us a like. You know, shoot us a follow. If you don't want to shoot us a follow, shoot us a like. If you could follow us, that would mean the
It all
world.
helps.
You know, any little thing. If you know somebody that listens to a podcast, like tell them, be like, hey, I know you listen to podcasts all the time. You should check these guys out. They got a little thing going out of the Bay Area. But for real, if you guys have ever been wondering about like how you could help us out at all, like I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for favors, but you know, just support. Like if you could like our stuff, follow us, subscribe, tell your folks, tell your people about us. I know we're taking charge here in the Bay Area, but I want this to grow. I want this to be able to touch people everywhere. You know,
Yeah, straight up.
you know, this is a dream of mine, like to get this going. So I don't know how you feel on that topic, but I just wanted to get that off my chest and put that out in the atmosphere because, you know, so the comment section been dry.
Yeah, I mean, we get a couple every now and then, but
I think I myself, I just haven't been really active on there either. It's kind of just a spot where I just drop it and I just want people to see it. And it's more so I tell them about it on the, you know, Instagram and shit. But I need to be more on top of that. Yeah. But so please, y'all, tap in with us. Give us some ideas for the next episodes coming up of Off Topic. And it's dope to do this and kind of talk about our experience doing the podcast too. And it's only going to grow. You know, we're going to have more things to talk about. You know, yeah. Tell me what you feel. Tell me how you feel.
Yeah, I'm just chilling right now. But yeah, you spoke on it. I mean, I don't know how long you really want to keep doing it for too either. We're almost
Yeah. No, we'll wrap it. We'll wrap it up about here. I just wanted to see if you had any, you know,
last minute thoughts. I mean, I still got to give you my third pick.
Oh yeah. Give me that third pick before we do that.
I mean, shit. If I could just get anybody in here, I'd want to get like Ice-T or like.
Oh shit. So we asked for a top 3, and we've so far got a top
like
5. He's
Ice-T.
about to give me the top 6.
Nah, like Ice-T or like Bishop Don Juan.
There we go, top 6, folks.
I mean, shit.
That'd
I
be
could,
dope as
like if
fuck.
I really got like time to like think about who I'd want to get on here, like I could just keep naming names. I want to
know what?
bring in.
That's gonna be my challenge for you. That's gonna be my Instagram challenge for you. I want Charlie's top 20
Top
guests
20.
you want to get on here, and we're gonna put that up on Instagram for everybody to tap in with. Yeah.
That'd be dope. You
Yep.
know, I could think of a whole bunch of people from like people just coming up to like legends.
Yeah.
It's just like just to get their 2 cents. Just
That's what we're gonna do. You're gonna do your top 20. I'm gonna do my top 20. We're gonna post it up on our Instagram, because hopefully in the future we'll be able to be able to put a check mark next to those.
Right.
You know, and I hope it ain't wishful thinking, because I'm grinding. I'm trying to get this. You know, I'm putting the hours in. I'm really trying to make this shit pop. You know.
Definitely.
And it's not even for business. It's not even for money. It's really, I enjoy this. I like being able to talk to people, hear their point of view, and spread it.
It's the same way like when you go to like get a bite with somebody, you know, somebody that you don't really know too well. Like here's some like free game. Like you ever need fucking like a service by somebody, don't ask them for like a discount on the service. Ask them to take them out to eat, and then watch them explain everything about the fucking shit that you need.
That's some free game.
It's fucking. I'm telling you, you spend like at most 30 to 50 on a meal, 100 if you really feel elegant. Probably still be cheaper or whatever fucking thing you needed fucking then. And they'll even show you, they'll tell you shit like.
You'll learn today.
You're gonna learn today, yeah.
Yeah. Well, shit. Give me your last thoughts on. Well, shit. No. What was it? What was the last thing I was saying before you gave me the third?
No, just if I wanted any last things to say, shit like that.
Well, there was that free game.
Yeah, there's that free game. I mean, this is the episode brought to you by dogs.
Yeah, we started this shit off talking about dogs. We didn't even talk about dogs at all.
We talked about it for like 5, maybe 10 minutes at most.
No, fuck that. We talked about it for like maybe 30 seconds at most. I just said I wanted one, and that's it. So that's off topic, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, man, off topic session number 1. I'll let you actually fuck. I'm gonna shut up, brother. This is your show. You hosting this one.
I'm just chilling. I ain't even tripping.
Write us out, brother. Come on. Write us out.
Oh shit!
Close
remember?
it down.
Yeah. Well, fuck. This has been off topic. Right here with Charlie and GM. Catch you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that shit. We checking.
Yeah.
And yeah, enjoy yourself.
At Talkingshift on Instagram. Talkingshift. That's the YouTube channel. Tap in, y'all.
Yeah. Dogs.
It's your boy GM. Yee. Dogs.